Today we're going to show you some fun, family-friendly Halloween activities to do in Central Florida. More of these are in Orlando, but a couple are in Tampa worth visiting. And we're going to give our honest opinion on each one. So in no particular order, the first one is Santa's Farm, which is located in Eustis, Florida. It's not super far from Orlando, and honestly there is so much to do. If you have kids, they are going to love it here. General admission starts around $10, and they have a few things that are extra, like the zip line and feeding the animals, but it is fairly inexpensive compared to some of the other things to do in the Orlando area. They have a cute pumpkin patch where you can paint pumpkins or you can buy one to take home. Honestly, the food is really good too. It's cooked fresh right there. They have hay rides that are included. They have two different zip lines. The tallest one right now is temporarily closed. Maybe it'll reopen when you visit, but it's a great family friendly spot. They did add a few little spooky decorations, but nothing too scary, and if you're an animal lover, you're going to love it here. I had asked my kids if they wanted to come back. They immediately said yes, especially for the bunnies. Now that they have their own little hut, you can go in and sit and actually hold them. The next one, I just have vertical video, so I do apologize, but it is at the Central Florida Zoo, the Zoo Boo Bash. General admission here is $20 for kids, $25 for adults, and I know it's even cheaper if you have an annual pass. What the kids really love though are all the little games they have around there, and you can actually win little tickets depending on how you do in the games, which you can redeem for prizes. Of course, they have the petting zoo, the playground, you can feed the giraffes, and even the splash pad. So it's a great day at the zoo with some extra spooky fun and trick-or-treating. Next up, this is an old video, so I do apologize if it's a little shaky, but this is at the Crayola Experience in the Florida Mall. They have Halloween themed decor, they have Halloween themed activities to do. It's something that's not so scary, and it brings out the creative side for the whole family. There's so many different coloring and painting stations, as well as their magic molds, so there is a lot to do here. And they even have some really cute merch, some Halloween things in their shop. Something unique and different maybe people don't know about is the Vampirates dinner at Pirates Dinner Adventure. So it is like a pirate show, except it's going to be vampire themed. They do have a little VIP area where you can meet some of the pirates before the show. You can have some different appetizers and of course some drinks. We got a mocktail, and then you head onto your seat in the main area. It is a really fun experience, but I'll say the food isn't the best. I wouldn't go for the food, it's just okay, but the show itself is really fun. It gets everyone involved, especially with participation, and with it being Halloween themed, they're gonna have some Halloween songs that they play during the show. It's the same kind of volunteer activities, but there's a little twist in the storyline. If you haven't been, it is really fun to do as a family. Again, the food is just mediocre, but the show itself, the singing, the storyline is super fun. Now, I've done a video about why Legoland has really been frustrating, and it has changed for the worst, but if you have little ones who are huge Lego fans, then they still may want to go to Brick or Treat. My warning to you is just that the treats and the food are ridiculously priced. I mean, you're talking more than what Disney and Universal charges for things, so just be wary about that. But there are a lot of dance parties, there are a lot of building with Legos, and then there are character meets and trick-or-treating. So if they have like a special deal, or you just love Lego with your family, then I still recommend going. If you want to see why there are things we have been disappointed with Legoland and the honest truth, I will link that video down below. But we've had some really special memories in the past at Brick or Treat, especially with all the characters and the shows. It is a fun event for the whole family, and it's not super scary. And honestly, I will say the best part about it was the drone show, and I know they brought that back this year, so I would say that was definitely something very fun to see. Next up is Busch Gardens Spooktacular in Tampa. Now, this area that you go inside is gonna be smaller than the SeaWorld Orlando area for their trick-or-treating, but I mean, it depends if you prefer Busch Gardens or SeaWorld. Busch Gardens has this little section here where you go trick-or-treating. There's some fun trick-or-treat options included in admission, and then you meet Candy the Witch. There's a little science show that you can see, some fun decorations. My daughter got picked to be a volunteer. She really did like that, and even Candy does a story time. You can sit down and listen to a story. And just like usual, Busch Gardens has fun animals to see. They have a lot of roller coasters, so it's just a little addition for the kids. Now, if you want to see a scarier event, event at Busch Gardens or SeaWorld, I will link those down below. It is called Howl Scream. It's an extra ticket event, but it is not something you want to take little ones to, but it is super fun. Most of you probably know about Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party that's over at Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World. We have a complete guide on that event. We do love it so much, but it's not one that we can do a lot because it is very expensive. It's something that most of us have to really plan and budget for. We used to go a lot more when the kids were little and free, but now that all four of us have to pay, it's around $800 for 5 hours. And as much as we love Disney, I feel like for the price, it's such a short time. It's really hard to get everything done. Even though they have some really fun themed treats, they have some great character meets and some great shows. If you can budget it, I highly recommend going. They have some really awesome ride overlays too. The Boo to You parade is one of our favorites, and the Hocus Pocus show at the castle really is amazing. I would say it's one of the best Halloween events for families, but it is the most expensive. Zoo Tampa was one of our favorites. This one kind of gets your kids a little bit into the scary stuff. Like, it's just a little hint of scary with some of the costumes, but not too bad. Like, that guy's pretty creepy, but he was harmless. They even have a haunted house that the kids can go through. It's kind of like a way to ease them into something scarier. They have a lot of different costume characters, kind of like little scare zones, but they're really nice and they'll interact with the kids, they'll wave, they'll take pictures. Personally, if I had to choose between the Central Florida Zoo and Zoo Tampa, I would definitely pick Zoo Tampa. There's just more decor going on, a lot more theming. And for around $30 to $35, honestly, I think it is well worth that. Next up is SeaWorld Spooktacular, which is located in Orlando. Honestly, this is another great one that has a lot to do for the kids in a much bigger area than Busch Gardens. You do need to buy certain bags to trick or treat, but you can bring past ones that you've brought, and there's a whole trick or treat trail, so you can end up going back and forth and getting a lot. And I love all the fun little characters. They also have a story time, they have different shows, a dance party, they even have a coloring station, so there really is a lot to do for the little ones with this one. And we personally love interacting with all the characters, especially the witches. They were super fun. Plus, of course, you're gonna have the roller coasters and Sesame Street Land if you go to SeaWorld, so there's more than just this. And it's included in general admission and if you have an annual pass. Just briefly, Gatorland also has a Halloween themed event, so it's basically like a normal day at Gatorland, except they have some trick-or-treating stations and some characters to take pictures with. We do have a newer video where we met the capybaras. We had an encounter with them, so I'll link that down below, but they also have other fun shows and up-close encounter things to do. Their train was also super funny during Halloween. You'll have to listen to the narration and see some of the silly things there. Admission there is only like 20 to 30 bucks usually, and even cheaper for Florida residents, and you have to feed the gators while you're there. And one thing I wanted to include in this is there is an all year-round Halloween store called Atomic Horror, and that's just one thing that I don't think a lot of people know about. Even have Five Nights at Freddy's stuff last time we were there. They have Jason and Scream, lots of different merch. And one thing I loved about this store is they had some fun photo ops like Michael Myers coming out of the closet, but they just have some really neat stuff in here, and it's definitely worth a visit, especially if you love horror and Halloween. I hope this video was helpful. This is for less scary activities in Central Florida, and I'll put our Halloween guide and playlist down below. Thank you so much for watching. Click these two videos next, the top one being a complete guide to the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, and the bottom being the SeaWorld Spooktacular, which is another great option. Thank you so much for watching.